Good morning, students. Welcome to today's lecture. In the previous lecture, we have learned that communication is a two-way process. It includes a sender and a receiver. And the sender sends a message to the receiver, and after decoding the message, the receiver sends back his or her response to whom? The sender. So let's begin today's lecture. The feedback given by the receiver completes the loop, which continues as a process of coding, sending, receiving, decoding, and sending a feedback. This communication process forms a loop. That is, in a loop, same things are repeated again and again. So in the case of communication, there is a sender who sends the message, and there is a receiver who receives the message. The feedback, that is the response of the receiver to the sender, is what that completes the loop. So communication comprises of 8 major components, which are the objects of study of communication theory. So in communication, how many major components are there? There are 8 major components. And these 8 major components are the objects of study of what? Communication theory. These are interdependent and are considered as basic elements of any communication process. So these 8 major components are dependent on each other, and these components are considered as basic elements of communication process. Now let us have a look at the 8 major components. So the 8 major components are source, sender, channel, receiver, destination, message, feedback, and context. So these are the 8 major components, and now let us have a look at these one by one. The first component is source. So source is that which produces the message. So it is said that source produces the message. Next is sender. Refers to transmitter that codes the message. Transmitter is a person or thing that transmits something. In communication, the transmitter is the transmitter, that is the sender, is the one who codes the message. Code means symbols that has a meaning. Next component is channel. Is the medium used to transmit the signal. So it is the agency or medium which is used to transmit the signal sent by the sender. Next component is receiver. Reconstructs the message from the signal. So what does the receiver do? The receiver decodes or understands the message that is sent by the sender. Next is destination. Is the person to whom the message is sent. Destination means the place to which someone or something is going or being sent. So in the case of communication, destination is what? It is the person to whom the message is sent. Next component is message. Refers to a concept, information, communication or statement that is sent in an oral or graphic or written or audio or visual or audio-visual form to the recipient. So message is a concept, that is an idea, information, communication or statement. And how is this idea or information or communication sent? It can be oral, that is spoken. Graphic means in the form of drawings or pictures. Also it can be written. It can be audio in the form of sound that is recorded. And visual, that is relating to seeing or sight. Can be audio-visual, which means it uses both sight and sound, typically in the form of images and recorded speech or music. So a message can be sent in any of these forms to the recipient. So the next component is feedback. Is the loop of making a two-way communication process related to the response to the message. The response of a receiver to the sender's message is the feedback. So feedback is the loop of making a two-way communication, means because it is related to the response, and to say that a communication took place or is effective only when the sender receives response from the receiver, which is the feedback. And the last and the eighth component is context. Context is considered as a very significant component as it gives meaning to the whole communication process. It refers to the background and the environment. Context simply refers to the setting in which communication takes place. So it is considered as a very important component. Why? Because it is the context which gives meaning to the communication process. Context refers to the background, that is the circumstances or the situations, and the environment comprises of the circumstances, people who take part in communication. So here is a diagram or a picture which shows the 8 major components of communication. So which are they? Source, sender, channel, receiver, destination, message, feedback and context. This is all for today. Thank you.